Hello everybody and welcome to what is round number 12 of season 38 of Premier Sim Gaming's Leagues. This is F2, this is the final round of the season, and I'm delighted to say that we have a championship battle going on in the second tier of the PlayStation Split. Hello everybody, on this Monday evening I am Tom or T-Dub. I will be being joined by my usual co-host Otaku Logan in about 15 minutes time. So we're going to be running through qualifying as a solo job. And then for the race, Logan should be back in action as well. But the track in question, it is the Bahrain International Circuit. And like I said, we do have a championship battle to talk about. And for the first few minutes of qualifying, while everybody is getting their first laps on the board, we will just run down what the state of play is in the championship. It is a two-way fight, as it was last time out in season 37 of PSGL PSF2. It is Sergio for Haas taking on Lifebout for the VCarb RB team, and 3 points separate them. And there was a crucial overturning of a penalty decision last week. Lifebout had a 3-second penalty removed post-race, lifting him from 7th back up into 2nd, where he crossed the line last week in Las Vegas, in the United States Grand Prix. And that has given him a shot of stealing this championship away from Sergio, who has held it since round number 5, I believe it was. We're now on round number 12. Sergio with 98 points, Lifebout with 95. Ronboard with Lifebout now, offboard with Lifebout currently. And they're in fantastic form, it has to be said. Lifebout hasn't actually won in any of the last 4 races, and to be fair, Sergio or Lifebout in the last 3 races have only picked up 1 podium between them. It's actually Jan who is the form horse at the moment in the green machine of the Aston Martin. 2 wins and a 3rd in the last 3 races, but being 28 points behind Sergio is not going to pick up the title today. Sergio, coming off the back of 2 5th place finishes, has struggled a little bit in qualifying recently. 5th in Suzuka, 5th in Las Vegas. Lifebout with a 4th and then a 2nd last week, like I said, in Vegas, and has been very, very consistent. We had a run of Lifebout where, after not scoring in the opening 3 rounds, didn't take part in Australia and in Kota, and then jumped in for round number 3 at Spa, finished 12th, got involved in a bit of a skirmish, then won 3 of the next 4 races to really catapult themselves into championship winning position, and now lies just 3 points off the back of Sergio. There is a little battle for 3rd as well. Epic Vale, who started the season off very, very strongly indeed with a win and 2 second places, just the 1 podium since then for the 2nd Haas driver, although Haas are favourites to pick up the Constructors' Championship, and I think have actually already done it. Yes, they lead by 52 points, so Haas are your Constructors' Champions. We do, of course, still have that little battle, that little matter of a Drivers' Championship to decide. And we have our 2 contenders right towards the front of the field. Coming around the final corner, we go with Lifebout. What is, well, it's not going to be a benchmark time because going way too wide out of the final corner, going over the track limits, and that is an invalidation. Epic Vale over the line with a 26.3, eclipsing it by just under 700ths of a second is Sergio. It is Haas 1-2, and we've seen that a few times so far this season. Yasir Saki's had a pretty decent season, although has only finished once in the last 3 races. That was a 6th place in round number 10 at Suzuka. Zane jumping into 4th just behind the Williams of Even Nye, 26.7 and 26.8 respectively. Jude manages to split the 2 Haas cars. Jude hasn't been in this series for very long, only made a handful of appearances, although has made quite the impact in those appearances. Was very, very good in Saudi Arabia a few weeks ago, competitive also last week in Las Vegas. Into the final couple of corners we go with Yasir Saki in the Alpine, currently 6th in the championship. Looked like he maybe struggled to get it rotated and actually returning to the pit, so wasn't particularly pleased with that lap time. We have 7 times on the board. Few drivers making mistakes. We saw that one from Lifebout invalidating through the final corner. Something must have happened to Yasir Saki as well. Jan, the form driver in the series at the moment, going 5th fastest, nearly half a second off the back of Sergio. That will be a little bit concerning for the driver of the green machine, with their teammate Zane sat just over a 10th further back, and then Diogo Silva nearly a second down in that papaya McLaren on a 27.1. Should also make everybody aware of the title sponsors here at Premier Sim Gaming League, sponsored by GT Omega. If you want to get your hands on the best sim racing equipment in the business, head over there and use the code PSGL at checkout. That will give you a 10% discount. Lovely drift that we saw a few minutes ago from Diogo Silva as well. Continuing on though, Lawrence coming out onto the track for the 2nd time. Neither Alpine driver has picked up a qualifying lap so far in this session. And it is disappointing that we've only got 13 drivers taking part. That is a bit of a shame, but last race of the season sometimes can't be motivation might be lacking. That's what I'm trying to say for a few drivers, which is why they've chosen not to turn up. They could be a little bit busy as well. Lauren's attacking this middle sector, though, coming up to the very trippy? Could trip over yourself, like I just did then. The very tricky turns 9 and 10 complex, very easy to lock that front left wheel. Manages to get it through nicely, using all of the exit curb on the right-hand side to try and extend that run all the way out to the right-hand side and get the best possible exit out of turn number 10, attacking turn number 11. Really nice corner if you can get it right. Chuck the car in there as fast as you dare. Particularly satisfying in qualifying as well. Been a fairly decent middle sector. Says it's purple on the track map, although we have been led to believe that that is not always particularly accurate. Anybody else on a flying lap? No. Chris Rebel has retired in the pits. I believe that is a qualifying ban for the Red Bull after the skirmishes that they got involved in 1 week ago in the Sin City of Las Vegas. Ran in the final couple of corners. One Alpine failed to get a lap on the board. Can Lawrence do it? Yes, and well, to some degree as well, because that is the fastest time of the session by half a tenth ahead of Sergioli. And that's a very decent marker to set down from Lawrence, who hasn't had the best of seasons, sat in 12th at the moment in the championship, picked up a podium back in Spa, but has only scored 3 other times, a 5th, an 8th and a 9th, leading to 22 points for the Alpine driver. Teammate Yasisaki in 6th on 50, and Alpine currently sat 4th in the Constructors' Championship. It's Haas followed by Aston Martin, then by VCarb. Those 3 spaces are pretty much sewn up, as is Alpine in 4th, to be fair, although there's an almighty battle going on for 5th place. Ferrari on 56 points, and then Sauber and Williams both level on 52, although we don't have any of the Kick Saubers today, so it is highly likely that Williams will jump ahead if Evan Nye can finish inside the top 10. Lifeboat circulating through this middle sector is a few tenths down on what Lawrence managed to do through the first couple of sectors. I believe he was at 104.7. Lifeboat there on a 5 flat. Maybe a tiny bit concerning for the driver that needs to outscore Sergioli by 3 points to take the championship. If it goes to count back, it is going to go the way of Sergioli as it stands, because he has 4 wins compared to Lifeboat's 3. Lifeboat just over a tenth off the benchmark pace, jumping into 4th, very, very tight at the top, just under a tenth and a half separating Lawrence in 1st and Epic Vale in 5th, who has just started a flying lap. All the way over to the right-hand side must be some... there must be some benefit to doing it, otherwise why would you be doing it in the first place? Yasisaki going again, as is Finlay in the Mercedes. The Silver Arrow coming up to the final couple of corners now. Bit of a wobble on the exit over that curb on the left-hand side, pulling gears up to the line. Don't think it's going to be challenging pole position for Finlay, jumping up into 6th place. Solid banker lap with just over half the session to go. 26.6 just ahead of Evan Nye. Still a couple of drivers yet to get a time on the board. Christian making another mistake, I believe, there. That's 2 attempts that have gone sour. Yasisaki, this is looking much better. Little bit wide of the apex, potentially into the penultimate corner. Up to the line we go. Does he match his teammate? No. Ends up half a second down nearly. 1st for Lawrence, only 8th for Yasisaki, 2 milliseconds slower than the time set by Evan Nye. Who is going to be next? It is Lifeboat on the in-lap. Then I think it is going to be Evan Nye in the Williams, so a chance to put a little bit more distance between themselves and Yasisaki and potentially pick up another place, because Finlay is only 600ths of a second further down the road in 6th and 7th respectively. The Haas you can see in the background I think was just going off the circuit. It was Epic Vale who provisionally was 2nd place, been bumped down into 5th, invalidating in the 3rd last corner, going to have to return to the pits. We are halfway through the session, under 9 minutes to go. Lawrence is out on the track again. What can Evan Nye do? Been in some really good form recently, improves by just over a tenth and a half to move up 1 place from 7th into 6th. Jude on a lap, a tenth up through the first sector. Sergioli on a lap, half a tenth down through the first couple of sectors. Can we find some time through the final couple of corners? Very, very wide. Somehow not invalidated, but does lose the time going wide on the exit. And that is that lap in the bin for Sergioli. What about Jude? Can he potentially knock the Haas down into 3rd place and leave our 2 championship protagonists starting on the same row, starting on the 2nd row, indeed, from 3rd and 4th respectively. Coming up to the final couple of corners now. It's really challenging to count this as 2 corners, to be honest. It feels just like 1 corner, 14 and 15, but it is officially 2 corners. Jude up to the line, takes pole position away from Lawrence by 200ths of a second. It is 2 TF10 cars starting on the front row, the Mercedes and the Alpine. Jan has just started a lap in the green machine of the Aston Martin. We'll be looking to challenge in that little cluster of cars. If we jump over to the the interval, the delta time, Jan has actually just finished a lap, in fact, and got exactly the same as Evan Nye. 0.309 seconds off the pace. Very, very close indeed from first down into 10th, just over 5.5 tenths of a second. TRT Christian, we are expecting to see towards the sharp end in that beautiful scarlet red Ferrari car. Just needs to try and get a lap on the board with just under 7.5 minutes remaining. Lauren's also just starting a lap, was provisionally on pole, just been bumped down by the silver arrow of Jude. Zane has invalidated in the second. Aston Martin will stay in 10th place for the time being, and Jan is down by 7 tenths through the first sector, but that is an in-lap. What can Christian do? A little bit wide potentially the apex of turn number 1, bit of a wobble over the curve as well through turn number 2, so maybe slightly compromised through this first sector, straddling the white line all the way over to the left-hand side of the track to try and set up your run into turn number 4. Very easy to exceed track limits on the outside, but actually playing it a little bit careful, Christian, there, probably just trying to get a lap time on the board, their first of the session so far. Chris Rebel will start last as things stand in 12th, not setting a lap with a qualifying ban. Lawrence is out there, has invalidated, was up by just under a tenth through the first sector, but couldn't translate that into any further improvements after jumping over the white lines on the exit. And as there you can see, 3 tenths down on a personal best. So Lawrence will have to go again in the closing stages of the session. We return to the Scarlet Ferrari of TRT Christian. Bit of a wobble there coming out of turn 11. Looks like Christian potentially has left a little bit of time on the table. Remember, we do reset qualifying. We've got ghosting off, so nobody gains an advantage of slipstream. Again, a little bit of a wobble coming through turn number 13. Unlucky for some, a little bit unlucky for TRT Christian, who in turn is sat in 13th place. Logan has jumped into the session. That is absolutely ideal. We're just going to watch this with TRT Christian up to the line, the Scarlet Ferrari car. Are we challenging towards the sharp end? It is only 10th place on a 26.7. Now let's try and get Logan in. There we go. Ataku Logan has joined us, everybody, with just over 5.5 minutes.
Apparently you're not streaming.
I am streaming. I'm watching it. I've got 24 viewers. I'm literally watching it now.
Oh, okay, because someone was trolling me in chat saying that there was no stream.
Well, that's an interesting one. Obviously weren't paying attention, whoever that was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're probably driving. Wait, 1 second.
Not streaming, Lawrence. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Francesco, for backing me up. You streaming, man. Thank you for paying attention. Lawrence, I've been bigging you up. Set a good lap time. Some faith being repaid would be fine and dandy. Anyone else on a lap? Sergioli. Logan is back. Sergioli improving by just under 200ths of a second through the first sector. Currently third place, 700ths off the outright pace, although it's down by half a tenth through sector 2. Epic Vale in the second half to the top of the timing charts, improving by 2.5 tenths. Now is the provisional pole sitter by just over 1 tenth of a second. Sergioli struggling to get this lap in. He currently holds fourth. Lifebout holding fifth at the moment as Sergioli has dropped it out of the final corner. Keep it out of the barriers.
Oh,
does so indeed very, very nicely. We can just see Diogo Silva in the background, who is going to cut the beam in the Papaya McLaren car to go, well, to stay in 12th place.
Can I just ask a question? I know we're on stream, but are you okay if I stream the race and we just, I am usually the play-by-play?
Yes, we can do that. We'll do a reset thingamajig.
Don't mean a power trip or anything, I promise. I just, so that you know, I can see all the camera that's happening and do filming as well. Oh, 6th and 7th are on the same time. Yeah, unfortunately, my manager wanted me to work until 7, and I couldn't dispute that because I'm not that stupid. But that's okay. I only miss qualifying. It's usually pretty much the business end of qualifying is most exciting. Epic Vale on fire.
Indeed.
Can everyone hear me?
Well, I think the fact is they can hear you a little bit too much because, as I'm saying, your mic is a little bit too loud. So I've just turned
I'm sorry.
you down.
I don't know if I can... Oh, you turned me down. Great, thank you.
Oh, Epic Vale drifting through the final corner there on the in-lap at the moment. Zane, I believe, is on a flying lap in the second Aston Martin, the Green Machine. That is not going to be a purple middle sector. There is only a tenth down on the benchmark set by Epic Vale, improving by 3 tenths of a second. Jan, who is the form driver we spoke about earlier on, 2 wins and a third in the last 3 races. hasn't got a particularly competitive time on the board, and Zane will be looking to eclipse that in the second Aston Martin car. Diogo Silva pulls off into the pit lane, cutting the beam. With Zane, we go from 11th up into 6th, and is 3/10 down on provisional pole. And the microphone level is good for Logan. Excellent stuff.
Oh yeah, Lauren said it. Yeah, I know he was trolling me. Anyway, everyone but Zane is in the pits. Zane is setting his final lap right now. And Zane has had one heck of a season, I have to say.
Indeed. Only failed to score once, and that was Silverstone with a 16th. Has finished between 4th and 10th in every other race, and has competed in every round as well.
Now, I actually haven't got my notes because I've just come home from work, so please bear with me one moment. I hope T-Dub has kept you great company, better than mine, obviously. I care about myself, it seems. Kidding.
Damn. When did Lawrence change from ET8 to TF10? Azem saying that it was a couple of days ago.
Oh, hello, Azem. It's been a while since I see you on the track.
Yes.
Back soon. Zane is well down. This is pretty much going to have to go. Has he got any fuel? No. He's not going to get another lap, and that'll be the end of his session.
Absolutely.
So that's down to 11. They're all out.
I remember Azem from last season's F2 being the unluckiest driver I have ever seen in PSGL.
Oh, yeah. He never had this fair share of luck, did he?
No, it was absolutely
Zane has
rapid.
pulled in to call it quits, as we've predicted. 1 minute to go. This is the final session of the season 38. Before we go into season 39, it's only 9 rounds. You know what? And no offence to the guys at PSGL, thank you for organising another season on here. I would have actually just waited it out for F1 25, I apologise.
That is
I
potentially...
think they're releasing it. Rumours I know, is it going to be released late April, early May? Have I been told that?
An interesting one there. I don't know if you've noticed this, but everybody using a very interesting line going down the main straight, almost scrubbing the barrier, the pit wall on the right-hand side. Lifebat is the lead driver, needs to find an improvement, currently behind his main championship rival, needs to outscore Sergioli by 3 points, and at the moment is down by nearly a tenth through the first sector and has a massive wobble as well, coming through turns 5, 6 and 7. This could be curtains in qualifying for Lifebat, going to have an absolutely mega middle and final sector.
Absolutely, 5 seconds to go in this session. Everyone has crossed the line and starting their lap. Lifebout, our championship challenger, is up there. He's the first to cross the line. He will be the first to cross the line unless he has a horrendous moment in these final few corners. He's looking very good through this third sector. Now we enter minute 4.93. He's faster than last time, but he's faster than Sergioli. That's what matters. That could be key on winning this championship. Lifebout, who's hung on in there all season, started late in the season compared to everyone else, has shown fantastic. Oh, he's gone sliding off. But what is going to be the time?
Bales.
And he's went into the pits. He's not happy with that lap. And he will be P5 below Sergioli, who is losing time, but it won't matter. As long as he's ahead, this championship will be his if he can do it in the race, as Jude goes to the top of the timing sheets by 11 thousandths.
And Sergioli is still down, so he's going to out-qualify Lifebout crucially, but the current championship leader needs to find a little bit more time if he's going to find any more places on the grid, but goes wide, not for the first time through the final couple of corners. And it's going to be Sergioli from 4th and Lifebout from 5th, unless Diogo Silva pulls out the lap of his life. Epic Veil is invalidated as well, and that is going to be our grid. Diogo Silva around the final corner, 27.1 at the moment, improves to a 27.0, and will start from 12th place in this race. But it's a different looking top three. It's Jew starting at the front for the Silver Arrows of the Mercedes. Epic Veil returning to form nicely in second. And Lawrence with a good qualifying performance as well in third. Then come the two championship protagonists. Sergioli doing what he needs to do, finishing ahead of Lifebout. Although Finlay, Yasisaki and Zane probably going to make life difficult. Evan Nye in ninth. And then Jan probably a little bit disappointed with that qualifying of 10th, considering the form they have shown. TRT Christian, difficult to get out of those kind of habits. Starting from 11th, didn't get a clean lap in Diogo Silva, and then Chris Rebel with a qualifying ban.
Yeah, So, here for the showdown. Sergioli, 98. Lifeboat, 95. All Lifeboat has to do is win the race. If he wins the race, he will be the champion because, okay, they'll both have 4 wins, Sergioli and Lifeboat. But if he were to win, but Sergioli comes second in the fastest lap, then Lifeboat will win the title as he has more. Actually, no. No, he will not win the title if the fastest lap. If he gets Sergio only has to get the fastest lap if he finishes second and Lifeboat wins. Anything other than that, Lifeboat will win the title if he wins the race. Only way he can win the race and lose the title. Just has to outscore by 3 points. 4 points.
If we look at the count back there, if they finish first and second, Lifeboat will have 4 wins, Sergio will have 4 wins. They'll both have 2 second places, and it will come down to the fact that Sergio has 2 fifths and Lifeboat has 2 sixths.
Crazy stuff. In my opinion, I just have a tiebreaker.
That would be fun.
A tiebreaker race, a playoff race, like penalty shootouts, but that would just be unnecessary and costly. Right, so as we said, we're going to change hands. I am now going to host the stream. And this is it, the final showdown. Is Lifeboat, the late bloomer, going to win this championship at the death and deny Sergioli what seemed to be his all season? We'll have to find out in the next couple minutes.
Will the hunted finally get hunted down? We will have to wait and see. We're going to do the switcheroo, and we'll be back in a few moments' time.